Laramy Tunsil, who we talked about yesterday because we had yet to see him post something saying goodbye, said farewell to Houston. He posted a picture of himself coming out of the tunnel at NRG Stadium in a beanie, which is weird because he's wearing a home jersey and they were indoors, saying this: I didn't know what to expect, Houston, but from the moment I arrived, this city embraced me and my family with open arms. Houston became more than just a place I played football. It became home. Over the years, I've grown not just as a player, but as a man. And this city will always hold a special place in my heart. Being part of this community has been an honor. From working with the Urban Enrichment Institute to supporting the Gracewood Foundation for Single Mothers, Second Servings Houston, etc., I've had the privilege of witnessing firsthand the strength, resilience, and generosity that make this city so special. Thank you for allowing me to contribute to something greater than the game and for giving me the opportunity to give back to the place that has given me so much. Houston, you welcomed me as one of your own, and for that, I will always be grateful. With love, Laramy Tunsil. The initials LT posted at the end. He's now a Washington Commander, of course, after earlier this week, the Texans traded him to Washington for a third and a seventh round pick in this year's draft and a second and fourth round pick in next year's draft. It's a nice note, right? Much like Alex Bregman when he said goodbye. That was a nice note. Here's the problem. And I don't know if this is more on us as a society than it is on Laramy Tunsil here, but immediately, and possibly because people are mad that he's gone and are mad about how bad the offensive line was last year, immediately people checked online to see if artificial intelligence slash GPT created this. There's, I guess, a website that you can go on that checks to see if you write something, how much of it's AI or GPT. I am assuming that this is something that was started by colleges and universities to combat plagiarism. Per whatever website was used here, Laramy Tunsil's goodbye note was 76.43% artificial intelligence and or GPT. I'm going to start off by saying this. I'm actually going to defend Tunsil here. It's kind of messed up that we're just assuming that that's the case. It is messed up that we're assuming that. What, does he have to do a handwritten note?
I mean, hold up a newspaper as he's writing it.
He got traded, and people were deservedly annoyed with him last year because of all the penalties. But, you know, whether right or wrong, if people are coming after you all year long in a year where you have a lot of penalties and CJ Stroud's getting sacked all the time, like, you don't necessarily owe it to the place you're leaving to write them a 100% heartfelt, thought out note. But it bums me out because people did this with Bregman too. Do we have to determine whether or not this was real? Do we have to go down that rabbit hole? I think it's kind of messed up.
It's also like 76%. Like all of these, thank you, Houston, thank you, inner city here messages, they all basically hit the same notes. They don't, there's not a lot of different ways to write this. So I wonder how much of AI could probably write a pretty good one because all these things are the same. Because let's be honest, and this isn't just a Tunsil thing. This isn't a Bregman thing. This is all of these. How many of these guys do you think are sitting down and actually writing these notes?
Zero.
They all have PR people. They all have agents.
So it could be the agent or the PR person doing this. And that is where I would direct my ire at those people. You got to do better than that. You're the one that Laramy Tunsil is paying to write this heartfelt goodbye. Because not everyone's a good writer. Not everyone's a good writer. So I'm actually defending Laramy Tunsil here. I don't like that our first reaction is to determine whether or not Alex Bregman or Laramy Tunsil's goodbye note that we were annoyed that we didn't get in quick enough time is Chat GPT or AI generated. I guess with Bregman, it was like 90-something%.
That's the thing. If it's like above 90, then that's where 75, it is like at a certain point, it's like, how many different ways is there to actually write
But
this?
both of these guys got traded. There's got to be an element of sour feelings here. So,
Oh,
like,
Bregman did. Tucker got traded.
my bad. You're right. You're right. With Bregman, you're right. Tucker was the one who was traded. With Bregman, it felt like, honestly, because there was
Yeah,
so much
because
time about
and
him
there's
coming
a
back.
flirtation that he could come back.
But you're right, Sean. Sorry. So I screwed that one up. But I get why there would be some jilted feelings. And while I'm a big believer in handwritten notes and sending thank you messages out, and I think that if you were to put together a thank you note to the city of Houston, you would want to be more specific, highlighting how welcoming this place is. Because it is. Like, you guys even welcome me. Yeah, me, Masshole Paul, to the point where I now believe this is my home, and that while living in Seattle for a couple of years, I missed it every second I was away. And I was like, I'm moving back here if things don't work out as soon as I could. And I did. It's a very welcoming place, the best food in the country, with incredible generosity, a city that I think, unlike a lot of cities, and I don't know how LA is handling all their crap right now. We do wish them well. I feel like when bleep hits the fan, this city does come together on a level that a lot of others don't. I think what we saw from people in the wake of all the destruction from Hurricane Harvey was really cool. I remember they weren't even letting people into the George R. Brown Center because there were so many people that were volunteering to help people who had been, displaced. And, Hurricane Katrina, how many people came here from New Orleans and Louisiana when things hit the fan there? And now you might have never gone back. You might have just stayed living here. Like, that's the best part about it. So now, the more that I think about it, Laramy, you should have hired me. You should have hired me. I would have done it for you.
That right there. I mean, you just change Massachusetts and Seattle to Oxford, Mississippi, and Miami.
Yeah.
Boom, right there.
Yeah. Someone else could do those parts.
0% chat GBT. Although
Boom.
I'm sure if you typed it in, that would have been like 25.
See, this is what I wonder about. Like, I'm wondering about this thing online. How much, like,
It's like when did you have to do this when you turn in essays in like high school and college where it was like a plagiarism checker website?
no,
Okay.
no,
So
we didn't have that. We didn't have that yet.
I had those, and
2011 is the last time I was in school.
basically if you included like quotes from the book that it was about, you would get like 20%
Right.
plagiarism.
Yeah,
But
that
it's
makes
like
sense.
literally I'm just quoting the
Yeah.
and so these aren't like perfect numbers is what I'm saying. I don't think that also why would you only use GBT to only write 75% of this
That's a
thing?
good point. Yeah, use it to write the 100%. If you're going to use it all the way. But I don't think this is on Tunsil. From the Twitch, this is a funny Twitch comment. Koogblade says, "Dude's always looking for a shortcut." Well, that's true. This is the false starts in illegal formation. So it's a shortcut. It's a
He's
shortcut.
just trying to get that extra edge.
That extra edge.